You may have seen images or leaks of some of the promo cards that are coming to TCG Pocket floating around online. Well, I'm going to tell you about all of the ones that we have information for and how you are going to be able to unlock them once they come to the global release of this game. Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! Let's get into it. The first card we're going to take a look at is Mewtwo, a basic Pokemon Mewtwo right here with Power Blast for 120 damage. You can see the really cool art right there. Again, this is going to be a promo card. It is a mission card. A lot of these are going to be mission cards. The interesting thing about a lot of them is they're going to be Pokemon that you battle for, and then there are others that you're going to just simply get by opening a certain amount of packs or by logging in for a certain amount of days. That is how they will give you these cards. I know ones for sure that you're going to get through a couple different methods, which I'll talk about here in a sec. Now, this is obviously the same as the Mewtwo that we have in Genetic Apex. You're just going to get this cool artwork on this card for free through a mission in the game. Now we're going to take a look at Chansy. Chansy has this little icon next to it, that little Chansy icon, and I saw this in the demo for the game. So there are features that were in the demo that I got to play that have not been added to the soft launch yet, and one of the big ones is this Chansy Wonder Pick area. So you know the Wonder Pick area in the game where you look through packs of cards that other players have already opened and you decide whether or not you would like to, try your luck at grabbing them. The Chansy event had Chansy and it had Meowth attached to it. This is the Meowth you can see right here. So you get this through a Wonder Pick system. The way it looked in the demo I played was 4 Meowths and 1 Chansy. Is you pick a Meowth, and then the next time you see the event, it's two Chansys and 3 Meowths, etc., until you pull the Chansys that you are looking for in there. So it's a nice way to get Meowth if you want to add that to your deck. Kind of a good early basic card for decks that need you to draw. And then, of course, a way to get Chansy. Now, this Bulbasaur card that we're seeing right here was not actually in the demo I played, but it has the same icon on it. So I would wager that every week or so, or every few days, depending on how they want to structure their Wonder Pick system, you are going to see a different card appear as sort of the feature of that Wonder Pick, and then 4 Pokemon around it that are all sort of basic Pokemon that you can also grab. So let's say Bulbasaur is the feature right here, and then the other Pokemon could be this Magnemite. This Magnemite right here, you would then grab as many Magnemites as you unfortunately grabbed if you're looking for Bulbasaur until you were able to pull that Bulbasaur. And if I'm remembering it correctly, it had a set amount of Wonder Share cost. I think it was 2 every time, but I could be wrong about that. And what I could have noticed was it started at 1 and then it started to increase with the more Chansies that were in that pack. So some of the promo cards that you're going to see will come to you in this system, and I'm guessing they will all have this like Chansey stamp on them. Now let's start to talk about Pokemon cards that have this symbol on them. You see that little blue symbol right there that looks like a Pokeball in the middle with 3 lines on the top, 3 lines on the bottom. This Lapras card specifically was in the demo we got to play, and this Lapras card was obtained by beating a mission against the computer that is running a Lapras EX deck, and it had multiple stages of it where you could fight the Lapras. So very similar to the single player mode that we have in the game right now. You would take on event missions against Lapras. You would build a deck and try to figure out the best way to beat this Lapras EX deck, right? And you're going to see cards come through the game this way too. I bet you they're going to be on sort of the same sort of cadence as the Wonder Pick system. So week 1, at least week 1 for me when I played the demo, and what I would guess week 1 is for the game when it globally launches, will be Chansey Meowth in the Wonder Pick and Lapras EX as the mission that you will sort of figure out a deck and then battle Lapras. You beat it, you unlock Lapras. I gotta say, just looking at the card here, it is pretty interesting. It requires 2 water energy, 1 colorless. It does 80 damage, heals 20, and has 140 HP. This is gonna be an interesting card. I always find the EX Pokemon that are basic to be pretty interesting, right? Like Mewtwo, obviously is super meta, and then we have all of the elemental birds that are quite good. It'll be interesting to see how this stacks up. One tough thing with water Pokemon is they're weak to lightning. You see a lot of it. Another great thing about about water Pokemon is they have Misty. This is another card that you could turn 1 Misty and do 80 damage, which would be insanely powerful. Butterfree also has this icon here, so I can guarantee that is how you are going to unlock this thing. I'm guessing all of these icons are battles, all of the other icons are wonder picks. I'm curious to see if any other icons are added to the cards, any other events happen, or if there's another line of events that I didn't get to see at all, which is totally possible. Butterfree right here, cool card. I haven't been able to figure out an amazing Butterfree deck yet, but I was playing around with it the other day, so I hope to find some cool stuff with it. Pikachu, different art style, but still you get Gnaw on it. It's the same card, just a little different art style. I think the cool thing with something like this is they are going to help people build decks, I think, a little bit faster than maybe some expect, because we don't have any of these promo things in the soft launch. This promo Clefairy art is going to be the same as the Clefairy that we have in the game right now, just this really pretty art. Now, Mankey here is one of the most interesting promo cards, right? This is different from the Mankey that we have in the set right now. In fact, I'm going to pull up my iPad right here, just taking a look at the set right now. Mankey, the one we have, is 1 energy, still does 20 damage. This one does 30 damage, has less HP though. So it has 50 HP instead of 60. The one we right now have 60, but it does 10 damage to itself. The reason this is kind of huge, it sets up a really interesting combination with Primeape, right? So Primeape does 40 damage on 2 fighting energy, but it will do 60 additional damage if it has any damage on it. Obviously, this Mankey right here is going to do 10 damage to itself. So as long as you are able to survive 1 round of combat, which if you do 10 damage to yourself and then, you know, Farfetch'd is in there, you're actually in a lot of trouble. As long as you're able to survive 1 round of combat, evolve into Primeape, you're going to have a 100 damage Primeape sitting on the board for just 2 energy as a non-EX Pokemon. It could be a really interesting combination. I'm excited to see what happens when this card hits the game. The Venusaur we have here is just a really pretty art style that you will be able to unlock. It is the same as the Venusaur that you pull from the Mewtwo pack. Same thing with Greninja. It is the same as the Greninja that you pull just by pulling cards. Of course, different art style. And also, I have to give him a shout out for giving people some Greninjas, because I know people are going to really want to play Greninja. It's a really cool style. It's a cool card. Greninja is very cool. So I think it's awesome that you're going to be able to unlock it through an event. Now, this promo Haunter that we have right here is actually different from the Haunter that we have in the game. The Haunter that we have in the game that you pull through packs is 80 HP instead of this one, 70. It does 30 damage on a single energy Will-O-Wisp. This one does 50 damage on a single energy, but flip a coin, if tails, it does nothing. And then of course they both evolve into Gengar. It's going to be really interesting to see how people want to build their decks, whether they want this Haunter or they want the Haunter that you find in the packs. The one you find in the packs, more consistent damage, right? You obviously don't need to flip a coin, and more HP, but this could come in and actually do a lot of surprising damage to your opponents. We have the promo Onyx. The art is very cool. The card is the same as the Onyx we have in the game, which is a tough one. I've had a tough time building sort of Onyx Brock style decks. It does okay damage, but requires a lot of energy, absurd retreat cost, but it is a basic Pokemon with a ton of HP. Now, the Jigglypuff is also different from the Jigglypuff that we have in the game that you pull from packs. So the Jiggly that we have in the game, 60 HP, this one's 50, and it requires 2 colorless energy to do 30 damage. I don't like the Jiggly we have in the game. This one is 1 energy and you spend it to put your active Pokemon on the other side asleep. I actually would rather have this Jigglypuff in a Wigglytuff deck. And I wonder if we're going to see everyone using this promo card, because I would rather have it. I don't like a 2 energy to do 30 damage. The only, I guess, silver lining of the Jiggly that we currently have is Wigglytuff EX takes 3 damage, takes 3 energy to do its Sleepy Song. And the Wigglytuff that we have right now that is not EX takes 2 colorless. So I get it, but I would rather just have A little annoying sleep RNG situation going on for 1 energy. And there you have it. These are all of the cards that we know are coming through events. I'm sure more will come once the game sort of launches and they start adding more and more things. But for a little while, this is what you can expect. I want to shout out Pokezone.com. As always, they have so many amazing resources for the game. I love it. That's where we are taking a look at all of these promo cards. Again, I would expect Chansy, Meowth, Lapras right at the start here. Mewtwo, I'm guessing, given how similar it is to Pikachu, you may get Mewtwo as some sort of, you know, promo when you sign up for the premium pass. They'll have 2 weeks free of the premium pass, so you may want to, you know, sign up for the premium pass 1 week into it, see if on like the 3rd week the Mewtwo pops up. It's also possible that in the first month of the game, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Char all drop, or month by month they give you one of these cards as you go. You get Pikachu month 1, Mewtwo, and a Charizard we have yet to see in month 3. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do any of these cards really excite you for deck building ideas? For me, it's Mankey. I think Mankey is the most exciting one. All right. Love you all. We did it.